Hello everybody, Thomas Fleming. This would be my last joint video for Rumble and YouTube. The light's flickering off the water and it's making me change color. Can I change a little bit over here? That looks better. Okay, I'll set like this so you can see where I'm at anyway, near the water. When I leave here, I won't have cell signal for a month anyway, not in camp. I can drive into town, but I only drive into town once a week. So what I might do is I might record a couple of videos and just wait till I go into the market and then I'll upload them. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. You need to get over to Rumble. It's painless. You just install it. Sign up. Again, it's painless. Now, I think you can probably buy things on it like you can with YouTube. On YouTube, I have been paying for premium so that I don't get commercials. You can do that too. And that lets me have videos that I can buy online. I used to have another service, but YouTube bought them. But they transferred all my movies, so I'm good. Anyhow, I'm looking at the water level. It's quite a bit higher than the last time I sat here. I don't see the ducks. The ducks and the geese are out here in the morning. You can hear them big time. They move from here over to the public area on the other side, because that's where people are for the most part. Not enough people here for them. And the food's over there. People bring in bread and grain and stuff to feed them. Still got planes going by. That's not a bad day. I think it's about 76, 77. It was 80 yesterday. Crazy weather. But it was like 50 at night, so I still had to have my good sleeping bag. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I can trade it for my light one. Not only is it lighter to work with, I don't get too hot if it's a hot night, and it packs in a lot less space. Summer camping is easier. And I'm still expecting my son here at the end of the month. He's waiting to get some money out of the government, I think. They owe him some money, and I think he's waiting for that. So if it comes out on time, he'll be back. He's scheduled on the 28th, I think, for me to go to the airport. If it's late, he might push into the next month. I don't know yet. With him, it's hard to know. All right. I don't want to talk about me the whole time, so let's just quickly do a refresh of what's going on around us. We know that it talks about wars, plural, and rumors of wars, plural. Well, there's been times in the past where there's been war. We've had a world war, but that's considered one war. We've had a second world war, again, one war. If we go into World War III, that's one war, or Magog, it's one war. So we have the potential, basically, of a number of wars going on. We've got North Korea with a little baby diaper president over there who's a coward, an absolute coward. He can mouth off because he's got his big brother behind him, China, and he can mouth off and say anything he wants. If he was worth it, somebody would have wiped him out a long time ago. He's not even worth it. He's not doing anything. He's launching missiles into the sea. Big deal. I can do that too. They're called bottle rockets, and they do that on the 4th of July. Doesn't make me a dictator. He treats his people very bad. For that, he should suffer. God will get with him. Don't worry about it. We've got China, since we're talking about them. They want Taiwan. Why do they deserve Taiwan? nothing in the fact that they can't make enough of everything to supply the people in China. So they want another country that's making money. Of course, they're going to ruin it when they take it over, but for a little while, they're going to have money. It's sad that someone can have that kind of a demented mind, that if you're not making money in your country and you take over another one that is making money, that you can live off of that for a little while until you trash it. And then you got to go find another one. What are you going to do after Taiwan, China? You're going to come after Japan? They want to dominate the world, and they want their form of government, their form of socialism around the world. Socialists seem to like that. But they have to keep moving and taking over a new country because they've spent all the money from the first round. That's why socialism doesn't work. I think it was Margaret Thatcher that said socialism only works until they run out of other people's money. They can't ever figure that out. Of course, Satan has them blind. He doesn't want the world to succeed. So he gets out there and finds people that don't want God. Well, if you don't plug God into that connector, it's open for anybody else to plug into. You don't want a demon? Plug God in first. You'll never get a demon. Jesus himself said, I can't be controlled by a demon. House divided will fall. Divided against itself will fall. So be safe and get Jesus. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, what else is going on? We got Russia. They're playing with war, because that's all they're doing. They're not really trying. I don't know if you can hear me when the wind comes up like that. Maybe I'll get a little closer. There's a storm front coming, like I said, but it's not a big one. It's not a major one. It's another round coming through. We're in this transition time frame. Speaking of transition, when this video comes out, if you've made it this far, we have a time change on Sunday. So looking forward to that. That's the way we should be. There's a thought that we won't go back to the savings time again, but we'll see. Anything they can do to create chaos, they don't mind doing. So this would be something helpful. I doubt if they're going to do it. Okay, so we got Russia and Ukraine, and we got Iran butting up to them and supplying them with arms in hopes that they will get stuff back. They're hoping to negotiate some more nuclear material out of Russia because, frankly, Iran wants to have 50 to 100 bombs. They don't want just one. If Japan had known that we spent our only 2 bombs during World War II, they would have continued the war. We had a third one in pieces that they could have put together over the next few months, but it wouldn't have been readily available. The 2 that we dropped were basically it, but they didn't know it. So keep up the illusion. So Iran doesn't want one, because one would mean Israel would respond, if they haven't already, would respond, wipe out most of whatever they've got, and they would have very little to build back with. But if they got more than one bomb, then they can go after every city, and they can even go after allies. Not that Israel has a whole lot anymore. Our country has basically turned their back on Israel. They say one thing, but it's what they do that matters. We know that. Satan lies, and Satan is running our government. I got to be careful how I say this now. Not mentioning any names, but he's definitely in here. We've got Satan get-togethers after school, clubs. We're seeing him in all kinds of things publicly. He's obviously involved in the drag queens. I'm just going to push a little bit. I'm not going to go too far, but we see he's definitely involved in our country. And our country will pay a very heavy price. The price so heavy, it's why we're not mentioned in the Bible. We've lost our credibility with God. New York's already been hit. That was 9/11. I think California is up next. If you're in California, what did I see? I guess it was Babylon Bee, so I don't know how true it was. But it said something along the line of U-Haul may go out of business in California. They've rented all their trucks to people moving out. Speaking of which, California is going to try to force Walgreens to leave because they won't issue the abortion pill. That is dictatorship. That is communism. That is not our country. But why should Newsom worry? He was impeached and came right back in and got elected back into a corrupt environment of elections, which has been all over this country. There's no hope for our country. There's plenty of hope for Christians, but no hope for our country. Our once Christian nation has gone over the edge. There's no coming back at this point. There's not enough Christians and good people here to reverse it. And we know the course of history coming up. We know the course of history coming up. One, we won't be here. The people left behind, they're going to suffer a little bit because they wouldn't accept Christ right up front. But they've heard about him, they've thought about it, but they just wouldn't commit. Well, they're going to have to go past the rapture and probably be killed and martyred. But if they accept Christ, they can still come to heaven. The door is not shut until the end. And then it will be shut. Tell your friends the importance of this. Tell them what they're in for if they don't accept Christ before the rapture. And there is a rapture for those that say that's not. And they're still Christians. Well, good. We'll be able to laugh with them on the way up. With them, not at them. All right. So what other wars do we have? Well, we have all the countries around Israel. Magog, remember? It's a bunch of countries together. Libya's been selling off their arms to help shore up their government and their income. They decided they weren't going to fight anymore when they got bombed the last time. Sudan is making missiles for Iran. Some of the other countries are that way. Saudi Arabia now is no longer talking to the United States on good terms. They're replacing our dollar agreement to buy oil with take whatever you got. So we don't have them anymore. It is the most unstable I've ever seen the Middle East. And Russia's already in the mood for war. So is Magog coming up soon? I wish we knew. God didn't tell us these things so we would be prepared for them. Don't worry about being prepared for war and for all the disasters that are coming. God's going to take care of that. You just need to be prepared for, a very short time. I'm hoping maybe a week or two, but it could be a month or two. But we're going to know something big, before the rapture. But we still won't know the day. We just know that we're so close that if it's not coming up, then God doesn't love us anymore, and we know that's never going to be true. So we're going to see ourselves get up to the edge. Don't worry about it. You only have to worry about from today moving up until the rapture. How long is that? I don't know. And we haven't crashed yet. So from the day that we crash in this country to the rapture, everything's in place. Everything's in place for all the wars to come. Magog, Edom, Damascus, everything's in place. Everything's in place for Iran, Persia to do what they're going to do. We just need somebody to push the go button. That's all we're waiting on. There's nothing left that has to happen. Now, there's more things to come. We need the two witnesses. We need the Antichrist. The two witnesses are going to probably start the tribulation. The Antichrist will follow in after that. That's probably the way it's going to be. When we switch back to the 70th week, that's back to the Jews. The two witnesses, Jews. Probably Elijah and Moses. God, I wish I could see them down here, but who knows? We don't know what they're going to look like. They're going to look like what they did before? We don't know. But they will be here. It's probably not Enoch. The Hebrews verse that talks about dying once really is talking about you've only got one chance to live. And then you're going to die, and then you don't have another chance if you don't accept Christ. That's really what it's talking about. So I was listening to somebody today, and he had a good argument, so I've taken him off the list. I've always said it could be Enoch or Moses. Now I'm fully in school with Moses, so Moses and Elijah. We're going to get to see them eventually in heaven, but not down here. I wonder if they're going to have a table up there where we can get up and get autographs and do all that stuff. I don't know how it's going to work up there. Maybe we won't care. That might be a letdown for them. I don't know. It's going to be exciting to find out. That's the main thing. But all these wars and rumors of wars, don't worry. Like I said, the rapture has to happen fast. So it's going to protect us fast. It's going to protect us so fast that Satan can't do anything. That's the whole purpose of being snatched up or caught up. But we don't know the time. If you look at the time in Revelation 12, you really just see three major events in that. But you don't have the timing. God just wants us to know. Sometimes the prophecy is so that when we get past it, we can go, okay, yeah, God did know what was happening. Sometimes it's meant for the people of that day and they have to follow it. But there's times where it's more along the line of, I just want you to know so when you get there, you know not to be worried about it. Okay, I think this one's short enough that I can upload from here. I'm going to try to upload this last dual video to both YouTube and Rumble. I need you to get over and sign up for Telegram and Rumble, because I'm moving everything over there. I might do one video a week from here on YouTube. Not from this site, but from my camping. One video a week on YouTube, but that's about all I'm going to devote to, because Rumble is there and it's free. You put the app on the desktop if there's one, and if it's in your browser. Telegram, you have to have an app on your desktop. Rumble, you don't need one. There's an app for both of them on your phone. The phone's the easiest. That way you've got them with you everywhere you go. But if you want to do them on the PC, you can. My laptop I use for filming as well. And I can go from my laptop directly to Rumble, where if it gets too big, it won't take anything here from my phone. And then I got to transfer it. I have to transfer it via cable over to my laptop, and then I can upload it. All right. The things I go through for you guys. We shouldn't be doing this much longer anyway. Tell people you're a Christian, and tell them the easiest way you can. Smile, and tell them to have a blessed day. And if they come back with anything that's similar, thank them for it. If they come back, well, I'm having a bad day, tell them you pray for them when you leave. If there's people in line, tell them you pray for them when you leave. If there's nobody in line, just stand there and pray for them. Silently, not to make them embarrassed, but pray for them. That might be all they need to make up their decision about Christians. Okay, I'm going to stop this so I can get it uploaded. Till we meet in the clouds. God bless.